Hi everybody, so I am doing something a little different. I'm normally not in front of the camera, but for this video I felt basically the whole reason for this video is to talk about something that I have been dealing with since last year. I've been dealing with the reason for this pretty much since I was 4 or 5 years old. So I have been trying to get a reduction and actually pursuing it and not just talking about it since July of last year. And it took a long time for me to even get referral from my doctors to a surgeon, all the way from July till end of September. And I had actually gotten to where I had already had a doctor picked. I went to my doctor prepared about this, and my doctor had even mentioned it before in the past. And so I started doing research and found a doctor, and I thought I was, set to go. It should be quick, I should be able to get it done and it be over with. But the doctor's office that I chose did not accept faxed requests, and the nurse at my doctor's office kept faxing the request. So I was calling basically every day and then calling the doctor's office, following up to see if they had gotten anything. And they kept saying, they keep faxing us the request, we need them to call us. So I would immediately hang up and call back and get the referral nurse again and give them all this information all over again. And finally I just kind of waited a week, and then I called again. I was pretty angry at this point. I've been dealing with this for well over a month at this point. So, I finally call again, and I get a different nurse, and she tells me that she had just taken over the position for the previous chick, and no mention of why this switch happened. Just that she was no longer going to be handling referrals anymore. I told her the situation, and she said that she didn't even have me listed as needing a referral at this point. It was not on the to-do list. I tell her the doctor's information again. I give her everything. I tell her, you have to call them. They will not accept a fax. And if you fax them again, it's not going to do any good. We'll get this taken care of for you. And I'm like, okay. I've already been run around at this point for so long, and I don't know. I love my doctor. He is awesome. Anytime I've asked for anything from my very first appointment, he does it. I went in there. He didn't know who I was, my first ever appointment with him, and said, look, I think something's wrong with my thyroid. I want to get tested. I've been asking to be tested since about 13. And my previous doctor that I had, just, waved me off and told me to just deal with it, basically. By the time I was 14, I was already a 44C. So, it was hard for me to really do a lot of the things that the other kids did, but I still did it. My very first appointment in, and boom, he wrote the thing and had the test, and sure enough, my thyroid was underactive. So I just think about what I could have avoided had that test had been ran when I was 13. But now I'm rambling, so I'm going to go back to the point of this video. I go back to work because I just call during free time at work, And then when I went to break, I happened to check my phone and I had missed a call. And I listened to the voicemail, and I have the new referral nurse telling me that she has completed the referral, and my first appointment is late October. So, of course, at that point, I ran back from break excited. And of course, I had to tell everybody, so I was pretty happy about that. Then I get a call, and they tell me they had a cancellation, and they can actually get me in within like the first 2 weeks of October. I think it was like the 11th or 14th, something like that, compared to like the 28th. So I was pretty excited, and I went to the appointment. The doctor agreed, that I needed a reduction, and basically saying that they wanted to take off at least probably, I think he said 5 or 6 pounds each. So the appointment goes great. They take everything that they need. They fill out the paperwork, and it's a lot of paperwork. I mean, a crap ton of stuff you have to fill out. And so they said, okay, we're going to submit to insurance and we'll see how this goes. So we wait and wait. And I figure, 2 or 3 weeks, sure, right? So I start calling, and I got to the point where I was calling the insurance like every day. And they kept telling me they didn't have it, they didn't have it, they didn't have it. Then I find out that they canceled it. Like, when I'm on the phone with insurance, they tell me the claim has been canceled. And so I call the doctor's office, like panicking, like, why was this canceled? I need the surgery, I need it done, I want it done, I don't want it canceled, And so turns out my insurance, being a pain in the butt, requires a photo. And that photo cannot be faxed. So they're requiring my doctors, because normally the doctor will just fax the file and then mail the photo that, once it's received, gets attached to the file. Well, my insurance company said, no, we're not going to do that. You have to send us everything you have by mail, all at once. So they do. And some point in late November, I receive a letter that says, because I call and I call and call, and insurance tells me they never got the file. So I get this letter from insurance stating that they had received the file, and that it somehow ended up in the wrong department, and that they were going to send it to the correct one. So I call the doctor's office, and they confirm they got the same letter. January comes around, and I call them again. And I always take the first week of January off, and I go stay with family. So I call while I'm gone, and they tell me again that they don't have my file. They don't have any records of any department ever having my file. And I don't have the letter on me because I'm in a different state at this point. So they tell me to call back with the letter. So I do when I come home. They tell me that they have no record of this letter. They have no clue who sent this letter because there is no last name. There is no reference number. There is no case number. There's nothing. Let them know basically who sent it. So I call the doctor's office after dealing with this. And they tell me that as of January 1st, they're no longer taking my insurance. So this is almost towards, the middle and close to the end of January. And it's like, why couldn't you have sent me a letter so that I could have been finding another doctor? So they tell me that basically what's happened is surgeries that were approved in August, they still had not been paid for. That our insurance approved them, told them that they would be paid, told them how much they would be paid. They did the surgery, and now my insurance is flaked and has not paid them. So they will no longer be taking my insurance. So I start calling around, and at this point I'm already a blubbering mess. And, to wait all these months to be so close to finally getting it done, and I have to start over. So I went back to my Facebook post, which I had posted on my wall, and I had been asking for recommendations of surgeons, which is how I found the first doctor, because multiple people all recommended this doctor. So I called the second doctor that was recommended, and the receptionist tells me that due to my weight, the doctor will not see me. He will not even consider a consultation with me. It's like, hello, why do you think I want them gone? So I have to call another doctor. So I go to the next one on the list, and the first thing I ask, do you take my insurance? And they did. And they had a lot of recommendations as well. So I went ahead and called them, and they had me an appointment scheduled that same day. The other thing was, that appointment wasn't until February 16th. So I go in, and I have, a copy of my file from the previous doctor's office, and I give them that, and then they ask me pretty much all the same questions. I'm up to almost an eye at this point, and they finally stopped growing in the last, I would say, year, maybe 2, if that. By middle school, I was already a C cup. By mid-high school, I was a D. By the end of high school, I was at least a triple D. And then it's just gone from there. So thankfully it slowed down after triple D until I reached H, and then it kind of stopped. But good news is, I had my appointment on the 16th. They agreed, they filed the paperwork, and I was afraid that I was going to have to start calling the insurance company every day again. I called one day while on lunch, sitting in the car, and the lady said, let me look into it. I'll check and see where the status of your case is. And she came back and she says, I'm showing it's approved. So I kind of freaked out, and I was super excited, and I hung up. So I called my doctor's office the following day, and they didn't even know yet. So I told them that the insurance claim was approved, and they said, okay, well, the letter's probably on the way to us, and we'll get back to you once we get that so we can tell you how much it's gonna be. And I was expecting, I have a $500 deductible, that I would have to meet that deductible, and then maybe $300 or something, right? They called me back and they said, we got the call that you found out you were approved, so we went ahead and called the insurance instead of waiting on the letter, and we've got your price here, and unfortunately it's a lot more than I thought it was going to be. So the total that I have to come up with before I can even schedule surgery is $21.50. And no, not $21.50, but $2,150. So I've started selling stuff. Um, Selling off my Lego minifig collections. I started selling off some of my video games. I sold off some of my nail polish. I think I'm getting ready to take a bunch of books, probably to a bookstore. I know I'm not going to get much. Connie has had been saving for a gift for me, and so she just sent me that, and that's going to go towards the reduction. Oh, by the way, this surgery was approved in exactly 10 days. My appointment was the 16th, and it was approved as of the 26th. So at this point, I'm up to like $500, I think. I'm doing all the options I can. I'm trying to, withdraw from my 401k. I'm trying to do whatever I can. I don't know. I'm trying, and the old man only works part-time. And so, pretty much everything that isn't going to bills and food is going towards my surgery and keeping our cars running. Anyway, what I came here to tell you guys about was to tell you about my story and how all of this has gone down. To explain this to you is, imagine that you have 20 pounds of something on your chest, and you'll know what I'm talking about, because they're right at 19.8 or something like that, something crazy, or at least they were last year when I weighed them, so they're probably more now. Just think about having to live with that. All of that is pulling on my shoulders. It's causing damage to my back, which is already damaged. You don't get hit by cars and buses and not experience problems with that later in life. All that happened to me when I was in high school. Be able to run and not have to hold them down. Just having to deal with them. I'm tired of having to buy clothes so much bigger than I really need because it's the only way I can get them to go over my boobs. I will be down for 6 weeks during recovery. I'll probably have 4 or 5 doctor's appointments during that time. And I don't even know how much those appointments are even going to run me. I think they bill me for those. Or, I guess I should ask if those are included in the $21.50, because I don't know. I don't know how long this is going to take me to come up with the money. And I don't think the old man realized how serious I am about the surgery until today. I've always been really big about going to concerts, and there's a concert coming to town that I would love to go to, because one of the bands I'd never seen, but the other two I had. And he called me today to tell me about the concert, and I said, yeah, I know. And he mentioned something about it, and I told him later, I didn't even say anything about the concert because, yes, I would love to go, but I want this surgery, and I need this surgery as soon as I can. So that means no extras. No nothing. Food, gas, and bills, and everything else is getting put away towards the surgery. So I actually want to have the surgery by mid-April. I would like to actually have the surgery before my birthday, because really it would be the best birthday present I could ask for. Yes, I'll be in pain. I'll probably be super miserable. But I know in the long run that it's going to be worth it. And I just wish I could do it right now. I'd be ready. And being able to improve my life. I'll be able to be active. I'll be able to run again. And I saw a quote on WebMD, that really matched with what I've been saying this whole time. That, I'll include the direct quote and the link to the article down below, but saying that basically reduction surgery is the best thing for this type of issue, and that other ways, such as weight loss, pain meds to deal with the pain, and things like that, they're not going to really solve the problem. I mean, yes, if you can lose enough, then sure. But when you already have problems with like your thyroid, where it already doesn't work that great, and you have to be on medication, and you've tried special diets that the doctor has put you on, and you've tried being on medication to help you lose weight. I've tried changing the way I eat. I've tried giving up sodas for months with no change. Working out during that whole time. I've tried all of it with no luck. I'm just rambling. Surgery is something that I need. It's going to be the start of a journey to a better me, a healthier me. You know, I really don't care. If they could have all of it, I don't want them. I've had them. I don't want them anymore. But they said that they can't guarantee size. They're just going to take off as much as they can until they feel that it's going to be at a place where I can manage. And then we'll have to see what the size is after they heal. Because apparently there's no way to tell that. Apparently going down is harder than going up, because going up, they just pop something in there in the size that you want. I'd be basically relying on help. I'm not going to be able to put my own hair up. I'm not going to be able to brush my own hair. I'm not going to be able to lift my arms. I'm not going to be able to pick anything up. I'm not going to be able to do anything. I mean, the old man's going to have to take care of me on top of working. I don't know how that's going to work yet. And I'm going to hate feeling so useless. But I'm going to spend the time, you know, listening to books, watching Netflix, probably maybe scrolling through Facebook. I don't know. I may end up sleeping from the first week or two. I don't know how bad this is gonna hurt, and I'm pretty scared but at the same time, I'm ready. And I'm ready for it to be over with already. And I'm trying not to cry because I've come this far and I'm right here. But everything that I thought was wrong. I missed a lot of work last year. So our savings is depleted. I mean, my mortgage got raised. And I just feel like everything is starting to go against me. All this to finally get approved. All these months. And now I'm having trouble coming up with the money. It's just not fair. So I'm here. Mostly just to tell you my problem. But to also let people know what to expect, what you might go through. Till I see you guys next time, thanks so much for watching. Please share this video. And don't forget to check out the other videos. They're not all like this, I swear. Thanks. Bye. Alright guys, so I got amazing news, and basically what's happened was I was approved for a withdrawal from my 401k, so I was able to get the money that I needed to complete paying for the surgery, and I actually have pre-op on Thursday, which is the 31st, and I will actually be going in for surgery April 11th, which is exactly 7 days before my birthday. So it's finally here, it's happening, it's real, and I don't know, I can't wait at this point. I'm pretty excited. It's coming down to 15 days now until I take off from leave. I've already started the paperwork. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.